The current situation or political situation in the country, and with us in the studio is Honorable Atem Garang, the member of South Sudan National Legislative Assembly. Continue with what I stopped you from.
Well, I was saying the leaders of the people and the party called SPLM, this is our party, either they will agree to solve their problems and then they go ahead as a one party. Or the other scenario is that they will agree that we have disagreed. And therefore let us form two different parties and let us compete among the Southern Sudanese according to the program of each party and with other Southern Sudanese parties which are there. So, but if you want to be a democratic person, then you will allow others to express themselves the way they want to express. So, SPLM, one of its principles is that we will vote for a democracy. So I think people will sit and then it is after you have settled the issues we are in now. The insecurity which has been created by this has to be brought down, has to be resolved, and then people sit down and see how do we go ahead. Because we must go ahead. And to go ahead, we must understand what are really issues which has brought these differences and how will we not repeat this. Because now you have seen our people, whether in Juba here, where there are, according to the UN, there are about 20,000 are taking refuge in the UN camps, and about 5,000 are taking refuge in the Catholic Church in Qatar, and about 14,000 are taking refuge in Bor in the UN camp. This is a humanitarian situation, and the whole population of Bor has deserted the town, and they are out of it. So, and in Juba, those 20,000 we are talking about who are taking refuge, they have lost all their properties, the same thing in Bor in other towns. This is a humanitarian situation where our government is supposed to come in very quickly, and if our capacity is not sufficient, then they can call in the international community to assist in all those areas and all over the source. It's a disaster to our people. Our people, they are looking towards getting services for their children to go to school, for the hospital to be near their homes, for a clean water to be there, for a praying grounds for their children near their homes. They don't need to be in congested. They need to have their recreation centers. They don't need to be in a congested camps like this, one of the UN or wherever it is, which is in their homes. So this is, I think, the government. We hope it will speed up the assistance. We have seen today the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs trying to reach out for those he has visited. I think one of the centers, either I think Qatar. So yes, we have problems which has been generated by this political dispute. It has gone into a tribal dispute now, and then it has gone to a humanitarian disaster. So it needs to be addressed.
Okay, now the President of the Republic actually called for, peaceful settlement of the crisis.
Yes.
And I understood also Dr. Riek, who tried to make a coup, also agreed for that settlement of the problem, but of course he gave conditions. If some of us followed his interview over BBC last night, how do you see these two leaders, or at least our leader, our president, the President of the Republic said yes, he welcomed the talks. Do you think is there any need for other international bodies to come and mediate, or how do you see it?
Well, for the president, since 2005, he has been making reconciliation and dialogue with those who are having militias, and he succeeded in convincing them to become part of the nation building in South Sudan since 2005, until recently, when the last group came from Khartoum. So I don't see any difficulty for him to dialogue as he has offered this. So it's a part, I think, of his policy. It's a part of his personality. Again, quite sure also Dr. Riek, he will, as he has accepted that, even though he has some conditions, but primarily he has accepted that yes, people can sit, and it has been a culture of SPLM since 1983. There has been disputes here and there, and then it will be settled by people sitting together. You know, Abuna Lukudu, Yomdak Wagal,
Bishop Lukudu,
Gal intukum very together with Akum. Intukum leaders there. I dispute, but then Makum be yourself in Asbitana. So I hope the two leaders they have to recall this Nidabita
statement.
Yes, and also in the opening of the SPLM National Liberation Council, there was a mention about Nelson Mandela. So the legacy of Nelson Mandela was said it was not only for South Africans, it was for Africa. So I wish we as leaders of this nation, let us borrow the spirit of Nelson Mandela, and we add to the culture of the SPLM, and we add to Bishop Lukudu and the other religious leaders who have called for, and let us be called, let us sit down, and let us try. Yeah, the military side is a military issue. They will deal. Somebody with a gun, you will know how to handle it, how to know how to disarm them, or if they want to be because Dr. Riek is saying he has not participated in this coup, so the military has to deal with the military group, and then Dr. Riek will, because
has to come in.
Has to talk with the president. As two leaders of the SPLM.
Grace, you said it, and somebody also said it. It is a culture of the SPLM in solving issues. But again, also, it's a culture of the SPLM always to break out, in and out all the times. Why is it to be a culture of the SPLM all the times when they disagree among themselves and others break away?
Well, that is a human nature, you know, to break away, to rebel. Even young children, they run away from their families sometimes, and they become what they call the street children. So bringing away in a political organization has its own political reasons. But our situation, to me, by the way, I'm a sociologist by specialization. In sociology, you study the behavior of the people as a group, not as individual. Individually, it will be a psychology or social psychology. But social psychology also will have the psychology of the group of people, the way they have oriented themselves, the way they have done that. So this does affect also our political activities. So SPLM was formed by a front, actually we were like a front, which did not believe in one ideology. But there were cases where we want a nation which is justice prevailing in it, it's peaceful, it's equality is there, and we belong to it by citizenship. Everybody was saying, oh, this is what we want. Now when we are here, instead of sitting down and see how do we achieve those things, some people will say that, to have a voice, then instead of depending on the party, they may go to the community from where they come. And if he is not happy, I will go back to my community. You are being denied. You are being denied. What is me? You have been denied. That attempt, you are no longer a minister. You are no longer a chief whip. It's not the tribe. It's not the section. It's not my constituency. It's not my family even. It is myself as a member of this party that said, this is a deployment. We deploy you. We will deploy you a different area. We are deploying this. Or we stay because as a member of the parliament, it's a deployment of the party, which said, you have to, it allows him to give intakhabat, winter jit, khotok fi parliament. Tagay, the mokhzen beta party. Kanda resol, kun safir bishir. Ta'ala mshamal shoghdan. Bugo fi safir qala wallahi fi zoltana nena dairina jibu, inta arja fi mokhzen betana. Ita mabezat. Like there are some people who will go back and say, my people. You know, we are being, so this is why people will break away. They don't want to depend on the party as the only tribe they have. They want to use the communities they come to pressurize and to pressurize the decision maker in the party. So this culture of breaking away is the one we want to study to see how do we stop it. And how do we convince our people when somebody comes back to them and say, you know, they should tell him, no, it is your problem in your party. We have nothing to do with your party, because there are many parties. So I think it's a greediness. Yeah.
We hope this culture will work out.
We hope so.
Okay. طيب أنا بقرأ ما أعرف يعني بالضبط كده عشان حاجات زي ما تحصل. We hope Dr. Riek will come, will listen, will accept the call from the president, and he come back for this nation to be built, because we are not yet. Yes. You know, we are too old. We're 2 years old yet.
Yes.
And now if you go around, you see people, some nation are laughing at us.
Yes.
At us, you know. What kind of this nation? 2 years old, they are now fighting among themselves. For this kind of things not to happen, what do you think can be done as we are actually expecting?
Well,
the Dr. Riek to accept the call of the president.
Well, first I wish if Dr. Riek could make a statement to the people of South Sudan, especially to the community of Nuer. As he said, he's not a part of the coup. Then he should call them that what you are doing is not good. And then, as the government have said, what the soldiers has done in the name of SPLM, and later on, because because those soldiers, they were talking in Dinka, and they were asking people whether you were in Nuer or you were a Dinka, which means they were Dinkas, and then they were targeting a certain area. The government have said its part, that is going to arrest those who have committed atrocities against the civil population. Also, he has to talk to the people to stop this. And then, for peacemaking, as we said, people before have sat down, people have talked, and then they reach a solution for the dispute which was there. So I think it is also another opportunity for people of South Sudan to sit down, and this time, as you were asking, we may not bring foreigners to come and mediate between us. The religious group is there. Some other figures, national figures, who the SPLM, two groupings could have a confidence in them to negotiate, and those who are not now active politicians, they can actually negotiate. I mean, they can mediate and then negotiate a peace settlement. But Riek, as he's at large, he should call on because they are fighting in the name of this coup, that those who are fighting, that it is a Nuer thing, and others who are fighting that is a Dinka thing. No, it's not the thing. I want him to send a message also to the people. That is not a Dinka Nuer issue. And then I am quite sure people can cool down, because what is happening now in Jonglei is out of hand. What is happening in Unity have taken Dinka and a Nuer issue. And we are against this. And we have to condemn it, and it has to be stopped.
Okay, finally, I want you to give us your final remarks to conclude our discussion for today.
Well, you know, Democrats, they don't use violence. If you want to be a leader, or if you want to continue as a leader, if you want to create a viable party, if you want to make your country prosperous, then you must be Democrat, and you avoid violence by all means. You always solve your problems through dialogue, through negotiations, and then you reach a compromise which, in a case of a dispute like this, then you will reach what do you call it? Yes, I mean you will reconcile and yes, make a conciliation. So a reconciliation will happen, and then people can go ahead. Our people, they need services, regardless of where they, from which they come. If you have a school in Gudeli, a proper school, where the children go there and the teachers are well trained. You don't train teachers because they are belonging to this community. You train teachers because they are qualified, and they will come and teach children. They don't ask children in the class, from which community do you belong? They will ask them, have you done your homework yesterday? Have you done this? You are sick, then you have to go to hospital. This is what they will ask. In hospital, you are a doctor. You will not ask from which community you are. Unless, if the disease you have, maybe in an area where there is no bulharsia and you have a bulharsia, people will ask from which area do you come, because there are certain diseases in certain areas which are not in other areas. Otherwise, nobody. So we need to come together as leaders. We need to take the spirit of Mandela and the culture of the SPLM and the spirit of Abuna, Father Lukudu, Bishop Lukudu, so we can reach a solution. While the government, we hope it will rescue the situation of the affected citizen, those who have lost their people, their loved ones, those who have lost their properties all over the country. The government has to very quickly to know their numbers, those who have died, their numbers, their names, how they were killed, and then to try to find out who killed them. That will bring credibility to our government, and our citizens will have a confidence. And even if we have no capacity to investigate, our government can actually call for an assistance from international community. Yeah, because there are people who can investigate the atrocities that have been committed in some other countries. There are people who are experts. They can know exactly those who have done it.
Okay, thank you very much, Comrade Honorable.